Good day, everyone. My name is Juliet. I'm a herbalist. I make herbs, herbal teas. I make essential oils from herbs. I make spices, seasonings from herbs. So I'm a herbalist. In this channel, we said we're going to be talking about herbs and God. God more because God is born. God is a supernatural being that made everything you and I can see, everything in existence. God is the one that made everything. So we'll talk about God. Because without God, there'll be no help, there'll be no me and you without God. So today we're going to be talking about the word, the delivery of the word of God. We're going to be talking about how the word can be sent in order for it to produce what? Results. The word of God is spirit and life. The word of God, yes, is spirit and life. And if it doesn't come in that spirit and life form, it would not produce any results. So there are two things that determine that the word is delivered in its true content. Yes, two things determine that the word is delivered in its true content. And these two things are: one, the true source of the word, the true source, the true that is the source of the word, and two, the route of delivery of the word, of the spoken word of God. So look at the Bible now. We're looking at 1 John 4 verse 4. 1 John 4 verse 4. 4 verse 4. It says, "You, dear children, are from God and have overcome them, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world." They're also looking at Colossians 1 verse 25. Colossians 1:25. And I read, "I have become its servant by the commission God gave me to present to you the word of God in its fullness." Colossians 1:27, sorry. "To them God has chosen to make known among the Gentiles the glorious riches of this mystery, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory." Christ in you, the hope of glory. Jesus Christ is alive in you and I. He lives out his life through us. My pastor said something yesterday, and that thing blew my mind. He said God compressed himself and puts himself inside of us, inside of you and I. Like God compressed himself. He didn't take anything out. He compressed himself and puts himself inside you and I. Imagine like a balloon that you blow. Okay. And you now take out the air from it. Now compressed himself inside and put himself inside of us without taking anything out of it. I don't know if you can imagine how big God is. He said the earth is his footstool, like the earth. So how big is God? I don't know. Even me, I can't comprehend. We can't comprehend all of God actually. No, there's nothing we can do that will make us be able to comprehend how big God is. Until we see him as he truly is, we cannot comprehend. But you can just keep imagining this is how big God is, this is how big God is. But a God that the earth is his footstool, that God is really, really big, really, really big. The air that contains you and I, all of us. You know how many people are in the world? Our God is really, really big. We are vessels that Jesus Christ speaks and acts through. The source of the true spoken word is Christ in me. Since God compressed himself inside of you, no, God was there before the beginning of the heaven and the earth. God made the heaven and the earth. God makes things that are not in existence come into, God made things that were not in existence come into existence. God made everything. So that same God now put himself inside of you. It means you can achieve anything your mind can conceive, anything at all that use your mind can conceive, you can achieve. Yes, me, I know. The greater result you have is a greater conviction of the fact that Christ is the one speaking or working through you. When Pastor was saying that thing yesterday, he said anything at all, whatever it is. I remember one time one of my sons, one of the twins, where he had an earache. Every day he'll be crying, and that at that period I didn't really have I was very rich. I was very rich that period. I couldn't take him to the hospital. I was like, God, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I know you're there on the throne, and I know you know my situation. I know you know how things are for me. If anything happens to this boy, God, me, is you I will hold. I don't know because I don't, you know how it is. I don't know what I'm going to do. So that night, around 12, I prayed. And that prayer I prayed that night. I just laid my hand on him. I was like, God, this year, I don't care whatever happened. I don't care where this pain is coming from. But whatever it is that is making this boy uncomfortable, that's making this boy not sleep, making this boy cry every day, whatever. If you dip like a cotton bud into his ear, he bleeds. So I stopped doing that because he bleeds from it. That means there's something inside that ear that was making him bleed. So I was like, that prayer moved even me. Said prayer that doesn't move you. How can that prayer move? God, that prayer moved me that night. I was like, God, I believe you can do this thing. Ah, you are the God who has never let me down. You have never let me, and you will not start now. So around so say I slept off around say 2, 3. I was in a dream actually. I was carrying my baby. I put my mouth in his ears. I pulled out something. What I pulled out from that dream, a matchstick, like that, the size of a match, the length and size of a matchstick. I pulled out from that boy's ear. I was like, I don't know. Anyhow, the next day, if you still go near him and touch him, you feel that he was still feeling pain, but he wasn't complaining like the day before that day. I was like, well, voila, let's see how it goes. After that day, he didn't complain too much, so we forgot about it. After like 1 week, 2 weeks, I was like, well, this year, this boy didn't complain about this year again. No, that was when I now remember that. So this thing they say that this flesh houses because they say man is a spirit being that has a soul and lives in the body. So the spirit man is the main man, not even this flesh. This flesh will die, but the spirit will never die. That was the end of that ear pain for that boy. So when my pastor was saying yesterday, I was like, yes, anything you can think of, you can achieve. He said, think big, believe big, talk big, and God will do big. So never mind whatever that is happening around you. He said, without doubt, just tell this mountain, this thing I'm holding, tell this thing to move from here to that place, go to move this mountain to go and throw yourself inside the sea. Because you believe, because you have faith, you believe without any out of doubt, that thing, whatever it is, can be achieved. Even right now, I'm hoping for something, and I told God, I said, see, God, oh, from now to now, this is what me I want to happen. And I believe it's going to happen because he said, you are the one speaking through me. You are the one speaking through me. You said I should just believe this thing that is going to happen. And I know it's going to happen. It has not happened yet, but I know. I believe strongly it's going to happen and it will happen. To happen for me, to happen for you. Just believe and you're going to be all right. Okay, that'll be all for now. Then, if you like my video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so whenever we upload any videos, you'll be among the first to see. Thank you very much. Start believing that anything, just anything your mind can conceive, no matter how big that thing is, no matter how big, God who made the whole world is inside of it, so no matter how big that thing is, start believing that you can achieve it. My dear, you will achieve it. Me, I've told God, like we're just in church one day, I and some sisters. So I was like, this year it was early, I think last month or so. I was like, this year, me, I'm going to buy like 4 trucks. I'm going to buy like 4 trucks. The man just looked at me like, what you want use and do? I said, no worry, me, I go buy 4, as in 4, no, I not Tundra, 4 of it this year. I don't know how, I don't even have any plans towards it. I don't know how, but for me to have said it, that means it was God that spoke through me, and I know it's achievable. I know it's going to happen. I don't even have any plan. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. So start thinking big, start believing big, start talking big, and God will do big through you. Thank you, and see you in my next video. I love you.